Hi folks, how you doing? Now that the first round of the Tata Steel tournament is about to start, I guess it will be starting in a couple of seconds. A bad and a sad piece of news has been spreading around the internet, and which says that the Grossmaster, the GM from Azerbaijan, Vugar Gashimov, has passed away. Very sad news because he was very talented and very young man. Well, we knew that he had some health problems. He had more or less retired from chess a couple of years ago. He had undergone a couple of brain surgeries, I guess. I think, and well, not really sure which has been the exact circumstances. I guess I'm not really interested in them either. But the fact is, he has died, and well, my little tribute to him as a very talented player will be this video, this game, an analysis of this game in which he beat Magnus Carlsen in the Melody Amber tournament, which was being held a couple of years ago in every year in Monaco, both in blindfold and rapid schedule, and this game was played in blindfold. Gashimov was white and Carlsen was black, and this was played, as I said, in 2010. So Carlsen was already rated 28-13 over 2800. He was not a kid, and Gashimov still managed to outplay him, as we will see. So e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop b5, knight f6, the famous Berlin endgame, which Carlsen has been using for some time with some success, and we saw it certainly in the World Championship match against Anand. The normal moves, d4, knight d6, and the queen exchange, reaching the famous and infamous endgame, knight c3. Lots of moves, of course, here, lots of plans. Not really going to talk about most of them because it's really complicating this kind of games. King e8 is the most common move here, and now knight e2. Moving the piece once again just to relocate it to f4 or try to go to d4, as both knights are targeting that square. And now c5 is played here, controlling that square. Seems logical, but it seems that this move isn't that great so far. This is the first time and so far the last time this move has been played, and well, maybe for some good reasons, I don't know, but anyway, it doesn't seem that Magnus has that much problems out of opening. Then he complicates. He makes seems life a little bit complicated, but this move doesn't seem that great. But anyway, this is the only game in which this move has been played in my database, at least. So now it goes to f4. Now he can't go to d4, and to control the d5 square, and also to prevent black from developing the bishop to e6. Now if black would go to e6, knight takes, f takes, black would lose his bishop pair. He would have a very weak pawn on e6 and would have a very complicated game ahead. So Magnus plays b6, trying to develop the bishop on the queen side. More or less logical move. The knight goes to d5, attacking the pawn on c7 with a subtle threat of forking, king and the rook, and the king must go ahead and move again to defend against these threats. King d7, sorry, knight g5, now attacking on f7, and it seems that black has already some problems, even though the engine thinks this is roughly equal, nothing that bad for black yet, because black has some resources to defend. Now king c6, attacking the knight. Here Gashimov played c4, but there were lots of interesting lines here, starting with knight f6, knight f7. Now he has a knight under attack, but he's also attacking the rook on h8, and a couple of possibilities here. For instance, bishop e6, attacking both knights. Here knight e3 seems to be the best, attacking at the same time the knight on f5, and if he takes, the bishop recaptures, the knight is not under attack anymore, and he could capture the rook. And if, for instance, if black takes here, knight takes on f5, and here white is up a pawn on this, okay. And if black takes on e3, f takes, and now the rook is protecting the knight on f7. Interesting. And other than bishop e6, there is the possibility to take the knight with the king. Very brave decision, bringing the king into the center and just letting white to take on h8. This seems to be even better for black. Knight takes h8, now bishop a6, and well, rook e1 for instance, and king e6. The pawn is not going to advance. Black has a good position, even though he's down material. The knight on h8 is not going to survive. He's got the bishop pair, and white doesn't have that much development. I mean, the rook on a1 and the bishop on c1 are not playing so far, so black has a good position. The knight on h8, as I said, is going to be captured, and he's going to be absolutely okay. So instead, c4 was played, just protecting the knight, playing solid. Bishop e6, rook d1. Now white could have taken on e6, but it would chase his own knight from d5. Now defending on with rook d1 seems logical. Knight d4, cutting the communication, putting the knight in f square, but white keeps developing. Bishop e3. And here bishop d5 was played by Magnus. Probably not the best move. And starting from here, black will have some difficulties. For instance, knight c2 was possible, rook ac1 taking here. And after taking, well, black seems to have a reasonable position. Rook e8 to defend on e6. Knight could go to f4 to attack it once again. Developing the bishop, takes, and well, this could be maybe not the greatest position of all times, but certainly very suitable to Magnus. Playable position, kind of endgame. And well, if it doesn't seem he's lost here. Not sure who is better here, but definitely an interesting position to play, double-edged. But okay, he took on d5. Now white takes, and he went again ahead to take the pawn. Now he's up a pawn, but so he has almost not development, and his king is in the center, which people might say it's not a big problem, but because there are no queens, etc. But there are still lots of pieces on the board, and black king is going to be an issue here. Now rook ac1, developing yet another piece. Bishop e7, knight f3. Now the king is a real problem. Now the knight on d4 is pinned, and the pawn is going to come back, it seems. Here bishop d8 was played. This is a move I'm struggling to understand. If some of you do understand the meaning of this move, please let me know in the comments or whatever, because I'm really fighting to understand what is the meaning of this move. And well, the engine says it's the best move, so I'm just struggling. I don't know. Anyway, now here Gashimov recaptured his pawn, get it back, and now the king is going to be, as we saw, an issue. Rook c6 check, king e7. Now more, I think, if we looked at the notation of the game carefully, more than the half of the moves of black would have been played with the king, so interesting enough. And now rook d5. The idea, I think, is to protect the pawn on e4 and to liberate the knight on f3 so that it can move wherever it wants. Now we got a couple of moves. Rook e8, just developing for once a rook. Knight d4. He will try to go for instance to f5 and a good square. King f8. g3, just to not have any back rank issues and develop his king. Via g2 to play f4. g6 to prevent knight f5, also giving some room to the king, some space. King g2, rook e7, probably to go king e8, rook d7 to try to exchange some pieces, relieve some pressure. f4, king e8, but white goes ahead with f5, trying to break into. You have to take advantage of these facts that black has a couple of pieces that are not playing, and his king is a problem. He has almost no space to move. G takes f5. Now taking on f5 with the knight, it would also be great, attacking the rook, etc. But rook d7, and probably you have to exchange, and that probably relieve black's position a little. Instead, Gashimov plays a very strong move. Rook h6. He's threatening just to take on a7 and checkmate black. Black's king's position is miserable, and c6 is almost an only move, giving that pawn just to liberate a little bit. The knight takes, and now rook e6. And well, here black takes, and goes to king with the rook to d6. Although he gave back the pawn, his position is still very good, is still great, because black has lots of weaknesses. Black has no development, even we are in the end game, and he has lots of pressure, and even though there are only two pieces for each part, for each side, he has lots of activity, lots of active pieces. Bishop c7, the pawn on e6 cannot be defended. Rook takes, king d7, rook h6. Finally, the rook on a8 goes to e8. It's going to play king f3. Now rook e6. Carlsen thinks that this minor piece endgame gives him the best chance to survive. Gashimov doesn't think so, so he agrees to exchange. Now king f4, and we have an endgame in which white is a pawn up and has a good bishop against a good knight against a bad bishop. This bishop on c7 hasn't almost squares to move to, and the knight is going to dominate the position, as we will see. a5, knight d4 check, king d5, knight f3 to go to g5. Of course, taking on f5 is not good because black is losing this pawn, and now the bishop is good, and it's white who must be careful because the pawn on b2 is going to fall. Instead, knight f3, king e6, and king g5. The king is going to, after the weaknesses on the king side, bishop check, king h6, king d5, and king takes h7, king e4, and king g6. And here Magnus resigned because there is no way of stopping this pawn on e7. It's going to cost him. It's going to cost black the piece, the bishop, and then white is going to have a couple of passed pawns on the king side, the g and the h pawn. For instance, if king takes f5. Now black is going to give his bishop for the e pawn, and the couple of passed pawns on g and h are going to absolutely define the game in white's favor. So there it goes with my little tribute to Gashimov. Rest in peace, talented player who just passed away, I don't know, maybe some hours ago. And well, I hope you liked the video, and thanks for watching.